Alright then, ladies and gents, welcome back after a little bit of a break from holiday. Guys, if you are new, consider subscribing, and of course a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. And now let's start with what you've seen in a thumbnail, right? So let's go through obviously what you have seen in a thumbnail, and of course, many different kind of data points, news and stuff like that, to kind of figure out of where we are in the cycle. Alright, so here's a quick overview of what we can or could expect from Kaspa in 2025. At least 10 blocks per second with proof of work block DAG, listings on major exchanges such as Binance, OKX or Coinbase, a stable coin on Kaspa block DAG, DAG Night as new consensus mechanism, possibly smart contracts, and probably more partnerships in the energy sector and other interesting areas. All in all, very bullish, and in my opinion, well, the person that obviously posted this, the most exciting year for Kaspa so far, especially because a lot of people are mainly looking at the price. I am sure that these people will also be very happy soon. What have I forgotten, and what do you think will be the biggest impact on Kaspa? So let me know, guys, what do you think he forgot in this post? But I would like to point out the situation with ADA, for instance, right? ADA was obviously doing nothing throughout this bull cycle pretty much, and XRP, for instance, while Solana and everything else was pumping, these two projects obviously were doing nothing, right? And there you go, boom, right? So it only takes a couple of bullish news and obviously a little bit of inflows into the crypto space, and then strong projects like Kaspa can fly. Anyways, guys, let's move, because Mr. Crypto Pro Style is basically posting this. Just in, Kaspa mining block reward was just reduced to 69 Kaspa. Next reduction will happen on February 3rd to 65 Kaspa, and Kaspa is getting scared right now. Obviously we don't really feel it, right? But this is something that I mention on the channel every now and then, the emission schedule, right? And that is going to be basically like with Bitcoin. Okay, I've seen these things about unlocks for Kaspa. I don't know what kind of BS is this, but obviously, guys, Kaspa is obviously decentralized proof of work and all of that, and it's basically like Bitcoin. It doesn't work like your average altcoin, like let's say Render, Ondo or AIOZ, which, well, I hold. But anyways, Kaspa doesn't have these unlocks, okay? So I don't know what kind of BS is that. Anyways, let's move. Before I'm going to show you Kaspa, I would like to put things into perspective, so be patient. Ethereum breakout will trigger a massive altcoin season. Inverse head and shoulders target $7,500, okay? So we've got this second attempt over here of bullish candle that hopefully is going to break this resistance and flip it into support, okay? And then obviously Ethereum is going to catapult, okay? I believe that this is something that we are waiting for. Well, Ethereum obviously pumping, so it can actually spark that proper altcoin season rally that we haven't seen yet. All right, what we have seen is just a scratching of the surface. Okay, anyways, moving on, we've got El Crypto Prof's chart on a 2-weekly. Okay, so this is everything on a 2-weekly. He says the total crypto market cap of crypto looks much more like 2017 than 2021. It's just bigger. We have now seen the second retest. Things usually get very crazy from here, especially for altcoins. An opportunity that might never come again. I hope that you are ready. So guys, let's have a look. Let's actually compare it with 2014, 2018, right? And obviously in 2017 roughly that started. Okay, so we had well, obviously the bear market accumulation phase, the first leg up, the second leg up, and all of this. And look, pay attention to this orange circle, right? And this is where we are at the moment, right? Everything basically plays out well, obviously, despite the fact that it's bigger market now, right? So we've got the bear market, right? Again, and here the first leg up, okay, the second leg up with the retest, and now this is what is playing out at the moment. Okay, so this could be very, very bullish thing. Now guys, regarding Tangem bank or whatever, I don't want to kind of make this video too long, but in order to clarify things, I would highly suggest that you will watch Mr. Cyber Skrilla's video, Tangem Bank Explained. Okay, I think he did a great job on this video explaining of what happened with Tangem, so please watch it. Okay, of course I'm not going to advertise Tangem now, and please remember, I'm not getting paid to talk about Tangem, I'm only getting a little cut, as a affiliate deal, okay? But before I will do it in the next videos, I would like you to actually watch it in order to kind of, figure out whether Tangem is still a good option for you. In my opinion, I'm not really scared, okay? I haven't done anything with my Tangem, and I still hold crypto on my Tangem, and I'm pretty much alright. I haven't been affected by this bug, okay? So make sure that you watch this video. Now, let's move on, because we've got ETFs, right? Situation. So as of 3rd of January, we had almost $1 billion of inflows for BTC. I do believe that things are going to change in 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm going to show you why very, very soon. Now, let's quickly have a look at Ethereum ETFs in order to check if we are experiencing that flipping towards Ethereum ETFs. So still, we have less inflows for Ethereum, but what I think is that longer it's taking and longer it's basically stagnating, I mean that switch, the bigger altcoin season is actually going to get. So we got 50, well, let's say 60 mil of inflows as of 3rd of January. All right, looking at greed and fear index, we are at 72 according to CoinGlass. However, according to CoinMarketCap, we are at 61. Okay, so take this with pinch of salt. I personally trust CoinGlass more rather than CoinMarketCap. All right, but this is where we are. And now looking at the daily, guys, we obviously are experiencing, let's say, some greenery, right? However, nothing too serious. However, looking at weekly, things are obviously looking much better, right? Because in the previous videos that I was posting before my little holiday, we could see that even on weekly things are so red, right? So we are experiencing that well, comeback, I guess. Okay, but of course I'm going to show you that in the charts very soon, and of course you are going to look at Kaspa's chart soon. And now, guys, why do I think that we are going to see good stuff in 2 or 3 weeks? Well, let's start with this, right? So President Trump will sign an executive order on day 1 for strategic Bitcoin reserve in 18 days, right? So here's the thing, guys, right? You have to remember that, now these are talks, obviously his promises and everything, right? But he doesn't have a full power yet, and he will, I believe, on 20th of January, on 21st. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, since I'm not American. Anyways, guys, moving on, we've got this, right? BTC on exchanges have been dropping since the ETF launch. Okay, so the orange price obviously represents the price, and the green the balance on exchanges, right? There is less and less Bitcoin, and Mr. Trump is going to sign this, right? Once he's going to do that, obviously every single country will most likely follow, okay, America, and they are going to probably do the same. Okay, so the FOMO is going to kick in, I believe, right? And now, guys, Mr. Quantin is posting this chart. I don't know if you remember, I've been posting this chart a while ago on my channel. So bull market will extend to 2026. Okay, I'm not saying that it will. Okay, so far this chart actually played out. Okay, but of course, guys, don't wait until 2026. Okay, we will have to obviously reevaluate constantly week by week of where we are in a bull cycle in order to kind of take profits, right? Remember that this is not financial advice. I'm doing my thing, and in the spare time I'm sharing my opinions on the channel. All right, so if we are going to look at 2026, that's going to be, let's say, great time, right? However, 2035 is going to be a huge time, right? Obviously we all have to survive until then. However, guys, we are still nowhere near the top, I believe, for this cycle. And now, guys, on the top of everything, we've got this dude that is going away in 17 days. Okay, he's going to obviously step down as a SEC chair, and pro Bitcoin person will replace him, right? The whole government basically is going to be Mr. Trump's people, basically, that are bullish on crypto, on Bitcoin, and on crypto in general, guys. Okay, so I believe that this train is actually going to depart, let's say, in a couple of weeks, once Mr. Trump is going to gain full power and this bad dude is going to resign. Anyways, looking at Kaspa now. Okay, let's pay attention to Kaspa, because volume increased a little bit, right? We had poor volume a couple of days ago before my holiday, and market cap is sitting above $3 billion. So Kaspa obviously has reclaimed this. However, ranking is obviously a little bit poor. Okay, but obviously that's just a number, okay, in terms of ranking, because if huge money is going to flow into Kaspa, that can change in an instant. So if it comes to mine Kaspa, we are making progress, because Kaspa sits at 88.7% of being mined, basically, and the next reward, sorry, is going to be 65 Kaspa. So as I was mentioning before, Kaspa is actually going to become more and more scared. Okay, now let's have a look at some Kaspa's TA. All right, so you probably remember when I was saying that Kaspa is going to well, search for the liquidity, blah blah blah, but actually it didn't have to. And I'm very happy to announce that on this particular occasion I was wrong. I'm not always right, not everybody is, but I'm very glad to say that because Kaspa actually pumped, right? So what do I expect might potentially happen? Well, looking at very simple analysis, right, RSI is on the top on a daily, and we are already experiencing a pullback for Kaspa from the top of 13 cents 3. So retesting this zone as a support at 12 cents 3 wouldn't really be a big surprise to me. So if we are going to measure, let's say in terms of percentage, that's going to be around 4.4% of downside for Kaspa, but of course we are going to look at the liquidity levels very soon. All right, weekly time frame, guys. So from the standpoint of weekly time frame, the good news is actually that Kaspa RSI is going towards the downside. So well, short term, of course we could see some shakiness, right? But once Kaspa is going to bottom properly, right, and probably retest this support, let's see what's going to happen in a couple of days, then well, at least from the standpoint of RSI, Kaspa is going to have much more fuel to regain the momentum, okay? And the volume is coming back to Kaspa, so that's obviously something that we want to see. Now guys, let's have a look at liquidity quickly. All right, so that's BTC. All right, I'm not going to bore you with that. Let's actually move to liquidity levels on a weekly. Okay, so we have significant level of liquidity for BTC, and that basically is around 18 million. All right, so if the price of BTC is going to drop to 97,200, then we could see a little bit of shakiness for altcoins. So once this is going to happen, I believe that we are going to have much more momentum to actually grab liquidity at levels of 99,000 USD for BTC and potentially 100k. And I believe if we are going to reclaim that 100k, then obviously people are going to be more bullish. They are going to go into altcoins, so on and so forth. So let's have a look at liquidity for our beloved Kaspa, right? And I hope that you're not asleep yet, because I still have a couple of things to show you, right? So pay attention. Binance daily, all right? Now Kaspa on a weekly for all of the exchanges, all right? So now still quite significant amount of people are actually shorting Kaspa. We got 605,000 worth of shorts for Kaspa versus 517. Well, maybe it's not a big difference. Nonetheless, still more people are actually shorting Kaspa. On a 7 daily, very interestingly, people are actually longing Kaspa at the moment, right? So let's have a look at the liquidity, all right? Kaspa on Binance, and let me actually zoom this out. So this is where we are with Kaspa. Well, I am not going to lie, because that liquidity at 11 cents 1 looks very, very juicy. And of course, Kaspa could dip into these levels, right? We still have a lot of time for Kaspa to pump during this cycle. And why? I'm going to show you that on further charts very, very soon. Nonetheless, guys, we should expect volatility for Kaspa. So let's say if Kaspa going to dip to 11 cents again, then obviously it's going to shake out more people or whatever. Nonetheless, the liquidity is piling up in here above at 13 cents 1 and hopefully beyond. Let's quickly have a look at 12 hourly for our beloved Kaspa. So short time frame for Kaspa, I wouldn't be surprised if Kaspa is going to dip to 12 cents 3 and then probably level 12 cents 9. Now guys, let's come back to trading view and let's have a look at different things, because if it comes to BTC's dominance, we are seeing good things. So looking at the daily time frame, BTC's dominance finally broke down, right? This is something that I've been telling you about, right? Hopefully we are going to get rejected from this level, and actually we did. All right, so what is going to happen now? Well, most likely BTC is going to find some, BTC's dominance is going to find support at this level, right? However, if that thing is going to drop to these levels, right, this is going to be where we were when altcoins and everything else were pumping properly, okay? So now, if I'm going to zoom this out to the weekly time frame, guys, you see how much of potential we have, all right? I believe that we are sitting at the verge of something really, really legendary. But obviously, the patience is key, right, with this game. Now guys, moving on, good news is that USDT dominance is actually doing something that I was hoping for, all right? So let me zoom this in a little bit. We are on daily, ladies and gents, I would like to remind to everybody. So now we got proper rejection finally of this level of 4.37% of USDT dominance. And now we have also dropped below this orange line, and this orange line is very important. I'm going to tell you why right now. Let me actually zoom it to the weekly time frame, and you see guys that this orange line leads us back to January 2017. So this is a very important support. Of course we can cut it, you know, in a couple of different ways, and let's say we can, you know, put it in here. Okay, nonetheless we have long-term confirmations of this line to be a very important support. Okay, so let's actually go to the daily again. So do you remember when I was telling you that hopefully RSI is actually going to go towards the downside? Okay, so it actually played out. So now the question is RSI going to go in here and get rejected, right? I would love this thing to actually go rejected and then probably more bottom. Okay, let's actually have a look how the situation on the weekly looks like, right? So even for example, if it would go up and get rejected, then it's going to probably create, you know, something like this a little bit, and then, you know, half level, and then boom, right? We are going to go into alt season. Okay, another thing that we have to pay attention to is others dominance, right? Because that's obviously inversely correlated with BTC's dominance, right? So looking at the weekly time frame, I don't want to bore you in this video with small time frames. We can see what's going on. This is a bullish pattern, okay, bullish pennant, however you want to call it. And I believe that we are going to probably be in here for a while, or we can actually expect some pump towards the upside soon. Let's see what's going to happen in a couple of weeks. Nonetheless, on a zoomed out perspective, things are looking very bullish. Okay, so even if we are going to get rejected from this level again, I wouldn't be that stressed out about it. Okay, I didn't sell my crypto at all, guys, because I know what's coming. All right, so now looking at crypto market cap excluding top 10, not dominance but just normal, where actually we can find our beloved Kaspa in, we can see what's going on. This is a bullish flag pretty much. Okay, maybe let me get out of this Fibonacci extension in here to make it very clear, but we can see that this is a bullish flag, okay, which we are actually breaking out from. So let me actually put it into the daily time frame, and you see what's going on, right? For the people that are basically thinking that TA doesn't work, well, of course not 100%, because you have to connect it with different areas of confluence, but in this case I believe it actually did. So guys, I believe that, you know, we are going to see a little bit of a dip, retest as a support. Okay, nonetheless this is still bullish, because, you know, this is a classic move. Obviously breakout, everybody's longing, so obviously liquidity has to be grabbed, the retest, and then continuation, and then probably this is going to be very big resistance to break, because there were previous local all-time highs where, you know, everybody was so euphoric. Announcement that Mr. Donald Trump actually won. Guys, to conclude this video, everything looks bullish, okay, and I believe that you still have to be patient. This is something that I am telling myself as well. I hope that you have enjoyed this update, and as always guys, peace and love crypto.